Hi, I'm Sarah Wilder, and this is part 22C of Surviving the Man I Married. There's this part and one more after this, and I do talk too much. I'll try and keep them shorter. I have a funny story for you. Okay, so we left off in 22B, where we're in the car, and I'm bringing up all this confrontational stuff, and I'm talking about it. My suspicion of his addiction to corn. I don't want to lead with the stuff Spirit told me. I'm leading with what I see, experience, and into it. And I talked about something I saw on the bathroom floor. So this is June 2022. I'm poking at him in the car. Let's rewind it 6 months earlier, my birthday, in the fall of 2021. And it's my birthday, and I don't want to spend the whole day with Jim. He's wanting to pretend and play married, and I don't want to do that. The shine is worn off our ridiculous 10-month long recommitment. The tungsten ring was already just a joke and an embarrassment. So I told him, no, I don't want to do that. It's not like it was in the old days. I had to speak to him like he was a kid sometimes. But what I did do is I let him take me to dinner at Texas Roadhouse for a steak and one of their huge frozen margaritas. Their margarita on the rocks is good too. It's literally a bowl. They're delicious. At home, I had a little peaceful toke out on my front porch with the dogs. And in the fall, it's just absolutely stunning where we live. Just beautiful. Um, and then when Jim wanted to watch a movie with me, I declined. I said, no, I'm going to go up to bed. It was like, I want to say like 8:39. So I take the dogs and we go on up to bed. I get all tucked in. I get my phone set with my favorite true crime podcast ready to go, all queued up. And I get my light turned out and the dogs, everyone's set. And I turn the podcast on, but it's not very loud. And just about 5 minutes in, I'm just comfy. I'm starting to relax. I hear sounds coming, like, I don't know, from the living room or even closer, like from just at the bottom of the stairs, voices. And like, oh my gosh, he cannot have people over just because I wanted to go to bed. He's not letting people in the house. And I hear more. Then I hear music, like keyboard music. And then I hear moaning. I hear moaning, stranger sounds. So Jim had unknowingly broadcast his pity corn session over the Bluetooth, and the Bluetooth speaker was downstairs on the highboy right next to the big recliner where I toke when I'm inside the house, toking it up, and it was blasting. And so I get out of bed. I'm dying. I'm dying. I have a laugh. Then I go across the hall and I'm banging on his door and I'm telling him what's happening. And then I hear it shut off real fast and silence. And I'm laughing. At this point, I'm laughing at his door. And I tell him, thank you for the best birthday gift anyone has ever given me. And that was a fat slice of the sweet truth pie. It was absolutely great. And I just went back to bed, shut the door, turned on my podcast a little louder. That man, in all the years I had known him, I had suspected it from the 90s. He would never admit it. I had brought it up many times. The psychic brought it up many, many times. I've been sitting on this for a long time. And this was it. It was like that validation you get when you live with a narcissist and you get absolute validation, which is like a brick over their head. They can't deny it, caught with their pants down in a big lie, something that they invested um, years into defending. So it felt great. And that's my little Bluetooth corn story. Okay, so back to the trip from hell and my bad behavior. So the things in the car that I didn't discuss, and here's why I chose not to discuss them. Certain topics I could not discuss without raising suspicion, um, because of the source. I would only know from a psychic, or I mean, even a PI couldn't know some of the stuff I chose to leave behind. The stuff I did bring up were really, I've already told you about them. They were mainstream marital issues, and they wouldn't raise any real big red flags. They'd put them on the defensive, but wouldn't raise red flags. So some of the things that I didn't want to discuss with Jim because of subject matter and the source of the information were him being a bad cop, being a bad cop. The first time I heard that actual term was from the psychic clairvoyant tarot reader in July of 2019. Now, Peter had mentioned it earlier and not the same specific terms. He'd alluded to it. Also, him living a double life. Same thing came from the psychic. Actually, no, Peter was first to say bad cop. The tarot reader was the first to say double life. I'll fix that. Sorry. I'm 64. I can't help it. I'm missing brain cells. And also, I could not talk about, for obvious reasons, the childhood harm he endured and his family's history around all forms of abuse. These were all out of bounds for safety reasons for Peter and I both. And I learned more about all of these things from Peter and a couple other psychics when I leave Jim for good. Okay, so affairs. We're going to go on to affairs. From somewhere around Lovelock, Nevada, it's the far western edge of this drive where things get a little busier, it's less remote. I launched into the opening volley to what I declared to Jim was a non punitive open conversation, like a therapy session when you have couples therapy, which we had for 5 minutes. But my therapist really fell for him and just kicked me in the gut. And so I had to quit. She was really weird, gross, toadstool dwelling amphibian she was. Anyway, I asked about his recent affairs, wanted to know about that, and he responded with the expected gaslighting. And then I countered with just enough specifics that Spirit had given me from all the 3.5 years of readings to force him into engaging with me and maybe to bait the truth out of him. I literally baited the hook with stuff I learned from Spirit. It's so ego driven. I'm just ashamed to even tell you, but I have to be full disclosure because that's who I am. I'm very transparent. I told him that I knew he had a serious girlfriend he met through somebody at work at the knife warehouse, and she wanted him to leave me for her. And I mentioned her name, her real name, and my suspicions of his use of our RV, our trailer that was just like a mile and a half down the road, using it for illicit purposes, where it was stored, and it was remarkably close to his work. Yeah. He seemed a bit shaken by my comments, and but he never admitted anything, and he resorted to just more vigorous gaslighting. He'd had 39 years of gaslighting me. So when he pressed me though for the source of information that I based what he wanted to call absurd accusations, I just credited my proven resourcefulness on the internet. Remember, he said I was sick. My intuition and my own two eyes, and I did mention what I saw on the bathroom floor. So there's just no way he can even lie about that. It only comes from one activity. All right. The whole pointless discussion was tabled while we spent the next 5 days at Becca's, helping out with the grandkids and enjoying the NorCal mid-June climate. I'm going to stop here for part 22D. I'll put you out of your misery with the rest of this story. And thank you for hanging in there. I appreciate it.